guys, what is up? It is the Bomb93 here, and today I'm going to play some classic games for you guys. And to begin, this is probably the last time you're going to see me in this location for a Tuesday show video. I know I didn't post one last week. I'm very sorry about that. Things happened with work and stuff, and I just wasn't able to produce it. So this week I'm playing some classic games, and thought I'd try and beat this one. I mean, I did the review for Micro Machines World Series. If you want to view that one in this corner. A thing should pop up. So, yeah. Look for the Micro Machines World Series review. Now, I'm not saying Micro Machines World Series is a bad game in general. I just didn't like it as much as I thought it should have been. And it was leading to some huge issues, which I didn't feel were quantified. So, I didn't give it a high score, but I still think it's a fun game. Something I haven't played in a while, sure, because I've been playing more Overwatch and stuff like that recently, but also I've been on vacation and stuff like that. I've been actually lugging this thing around and playing ARMS on it. Really fun. Even if you're not playing with anybody in particular. ARMS against a computer is one of the easiest things you can do on Nintendo Switch. Far now. So, yeah. Anyways. Back to this. So, I have a whole bunch of walkthrough. I'm probably just going to give you a brief synopsis of it. I'm not going to do classic game reviews where I give it a full-on rating. Basically because this is before my time, and the hardware, let's face it, I was born in 1995, so I'm a bit of a young'un. I mean, I was born in 95, the console came out in like the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember if it's 89, because I know Sonic 1 came out in 1991. So this came out, according to this one, 1993. So about Sonic 2. So when this game released. And yeah, let's just hop into some gameplay and a little bit of vocabulary over top of that. And I'll see you after the video for a brief overview.
So, this is Micro Machine. A game that I thought very fondly of as a kid, and I'm very happy to say I actually got almost all the way through the challenge mode. One of those games that you wouldn't necessarily think or give two craps about being on the Sega Genesis, the NES, and the Game Boy, but it's one of those games where you're basically try to have as much fun as you can based on what the technology is given to you. Now, the first race in the challenge mode, as you can see, I'm goofing around quite a bit, just proving that you can pretty much do anything to win that race. The main premises of the challenge mode is beat everybody in 25 races. And people do drop out due to every three races due to losing out. Yeah. So, the other thing about this game is I'm actually playing it on the actual Sega Genesis itself. I'm not actually playing on an emulator. This is fully recorded 16-bit footage. So, yeah. So for a Sega Genesis game, it plays well. It uses advantage of all the hardware that is given to it. Yeah. Takes advantage of the hardware, and it's plays really fundamentally basic. There's 5, 6, 7, 9 classes of cars, I think. There's these sports cars, which are my least favorite, and I shall explain why in a few minutes. Formula 1, which is my second least favorite. The 4x4s, which are alright. 4x4s, helicopters. I should know all of them by now. I played through all of the game. Why can't? Oh, the turbo wheels. I forget what they call the ones with the spikes on the end. I'll call them warthogs because that's what I'm used to calling them. Although they're not exactly the same as Halo warthogs. There's monster trucks, a whole bunch of miniaturized RC cars, and you basically pit them against free computer players or another human if you happen to own a second controller. So yeah. Now there is a multitude of characters to pick from, whether you pick a Spider, Bonnie, Slick Jethro, Smooth Cherry, Fair Annie, and stuff like that. And the character list keeps getting bigger and bigger. So with certain tracks, with each one of the tracks, there are going to be their own distinct advantages. For example, each of the first 3 races you get brand new vehicles in challenge, and then it starts to spread out a bit when you get new vehicles. So the first few races you get the turbo wheels, which are basically dune buggies, the sports cars, and the warthogs, and then I think you get the second warthogs race soon after. And then race 10 is your first helicopter race. Race 13, no, unlucky number, is your first tanks race. And I should know what the first Formula 1 race is before that even. Oh no. Yeah, but each of them have their own certain pizzazz, I should say, or certain I'm tired today. There's a certain coolness factor. You beat the monster truck stages in challenge mode, you get an extra life. Now, these stages are actually quite hard. Even the first one, I managed not to do fairly. I managed to get first life in this playthrough, but it is fairly hard to do actually getting a good run up on. You actually have to manage your gas and kind of be easy on it and stuff like that. But, however, when you actually feel that sense of satisfaction because you get the extra life. Oh, first 4 races you get brand new vehicles each because you start off on the Turbo Ford. You start off on the 4 wheels and So first, technically 5 races you get brand new vehicles. Although Monster Truck never actually stays in your inventory, it's just there. But the fun thing about this game is that no matter how many vehicles you play, the 25 races, they're all fresh. They're not exactly the same thing you endured the last race. For example, So after the first tanks race, about race 15, I start to struggle on the sports cars. And that's really the second or the third sports car race. I just have trouble staying on the rulers trying to get across it. Whereas, for example, the dune buggy, I only struggle really in the second race because it has a couple of tight spots where you're supposed to stay on with the turbo wheels. I don't really struggle a whole lot with the dune buggy races, mainly because they're really easy. The turbo fours, the 4x4s are really easy. There are a lot of easy races. There are a lot of hard races as well. The 4x4s are probably the easiest. If you're wanting to get into micro machines and you want to feel the speed, you do not go to 4x4s or Monster Truck, because those actually have you slowed down. However, another thing is to remember that there are punishments for going off track and going around obstacles, such as the top these boxes in 4x4s, the later two races. First one doesn't have one, but the first one does, and it's basically it's instant death if you try and go around it. You have to go over top of it, or else you explode. Overall, I would say it's a fun game. Right until about the end, I got to race 25, so I got the maximum race you got to. The race's name is Go For It. So last race, I'm doing well, and the game crashes. Now, why did the game crash? Maybe because I'm running it on older hardware. I mean, I haven't played this. I hadn't actually got to the point where you actually beat the challenge mode Micro Machines, but it is a really fun racing game nonetheless. Although I very easily could have beaten race 26. The thing about the tanks races is you basically start off by hitting each other and hitting each other and hitting each other and hitting each other and hitting each other. It's basically what battle mode in the newer ones aspire to be. And coming from the older ones and looking into the newer ones like that, I almost have more fun playing the battle mode in the newer ones. So there is that. Formula 1 is just as fun and stuff like that. It is a really fun game actually to play. I mean, no criticism to World Series, but the original does actually play better for what it's given. I mean, the CPU is definitely easier once you get to know the track, so that way you have an idea of what's going on. But yeah, so it gets harder once you go on as well. I don't think I actually failed a race in this. I don't think I actually failed a race in this run through, but it's quite an interesting game. Yeah. So there's that. So yeah. Anyways, I shall. Yeah. Let's head to the synopsis of the whole, or overview of the whole entire game.
So, Micro Machines. Game's great. Game always has played great. And, other than the fact that probably the older hardware that I am playing on, the Sega Genesis plus Micro Machines, which doesn't have the proper label, I have to get somebody to relabel it, and I don't feel like doing it myself. Yeah, basically, other than that, I've really enjoyed this game, and superb playability. Right here, superb playability. 97%. The Mean Machines magazine. No, but it is a really fun game, guys. Other than the fact that I nearly won, and I'll probably show you the end of the footage right at the end of this, of how the game ended, which I was very pleased about. I'll be honest, I wasn't very pleased about it at all. But I did almost beat Micro Machines Challenge Mode, albeit I did the hardest people first, because I know those racetracks the best versus the easiest people. And there you go. So, is it a good game? Yes, definitely. Would it be a game you want to pick up for nostalgia purposes? Considering how different the Micro Machines games are now, what they used to be, like even say, well, how big different the Micro Machines are now as compared to they were when this game came out. And even Turbo Tournament. And I played Turbo Tournament via emulator, although I'd like to actually get a copy and play it on here as well. If you want to play a Micro Machines game and you want to play the most modern version, go ahead. You're not going to get the same experience as this, so at the same time, you know what? Pick this up. I mean, there's not really a recommendation I can't give about this game. If you're into classic racing games, top down, there is an NES port and a Game Boy port of it. Although the Game Boy port sucks because it actually does slow down and the visuals aren't all that great. I haven't played the NES game to actually know for a fact. So yeah, but out of all the titles, the 16-bit game is definitely the better of the titles. So with that in mind, guys, that's my time for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll get back to more modern stuff hopefully next week with an ARMS kind of an ARMS walkthrough, an ARMS talkthrough and stuff like that. As well as a bit of a rant about Master Bomy and how underpowered he is in the realm of the ARMS franchise. Once again, I'm not exactly sure how they did it like that, but they did it. So that's my time for today, guys. Make sure to like for more content like this, more reviews, and more strategy guides and walkthroughs. If you did notice the ad on the front of this video, don't be alarmed. I am starting to monetize content on this channel. Reviews will be free to watch. I'm not going to monetize my reviews. Basically, for the same reason that Jim Sterling doesn't monetize his. Basically, because the gamers want to see the games and what people think about the games. I don't think that that should necessarily be monetized content. Personal belief of mine. You don't have to agree with me. If you're doing reviews and you just come across this and you're like, why is he doing it that way? That's personally my own belief. I don't have to agree with you guys. That's, you know what, reviews are kind of a base synopsis way of getting the game. So if I tell you Micro Machines World Series is fun, but I give it a 4 out of 10 because I just really don't see how good of it, it's not very good in a rating sense, but it's a really fun game to play nonetheless. In case of all its flaws, that's something I can say in a means of a review. Whereas something like this, I can't exactly give it a full review because, once again, I'm so used to modern hardware like the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, the PC, my own gaming rig, for example. So, once again, guys, this isn't like a bad thing. I just want to make sure that you guys understand some things about this channel and how changes are going to come about. Okay, so please subscribe to the Bomb93. Like this video if you want to see more of me playing classic games. I've got a whole list of them here I can play, like Sonic 2, Mortal Kombat, this Pac-Man Tension Kart. In fact, I might do a playthrough or a live stream of PGA Tour 96 on Second Chance. I can't even say the name of the game without laughing. That's how bad I am at this game. So I might do a Twitch stream of this one of these days. So be anxious for that. There might be another video also coming where I'm helping a friend of mine build a PC. So it's going to be really interesting to watch how that video turns out because I've got my well, he's ordering a bunch of parts right now, and then we're going to shove a Core 2 quad and a 960 together and see if it can still game. I'm doubting it will, but at the same time, quad core. This is going to be exciting. Anyways, that's my time for today, guys. Thanks for watching so much. I'm the Bomb93. As always, stay Bomby.